back to Tribe Talk. So we've been talking a lot about data protection over the last couple of years, and just recently, Google decided to phase out all cookie tracking sometime in the next year. So what does this mean? That's what we're going to be talking about today. We have Jacob with us. And Jacob, what exactly is third-party cookies? Can you explain to us what that is and why Google is taking it away?
Absolutely. So cookies are what enable ad platforms and advertisers altogether to sort of follow you around the web wherever you are based on actions you took somewhere else. So maybe you're shopping for shoes on Zappos, then the ad platform can sort of say, hey, advertiser, I know somebody who's shopping for shoes very recently. Would you like to use that information to target that person wherever else they go on the internet? It's how users like you and I get targeted for, say, a pair of black heels when we're researching, oh, I don't know, a recipe site for what you're going to make for a barbecue, right? So it's sort of how you end up being targeted with pretty irrelevant to the content you're reading ads, but somewhat relevant to the behavior that you've exhibited across channels, right? So Google's actually doing this out of pressure, right? They're not doing it because it's kicky and it's fun and they feel really good about it. Safari has sort of outlawed, I guess, cookies, third-party cookies for a while now. Any of the newer browsers have outlawed cookies for a while now. Google takes up about, I think, 60% of the market share. So it's the last big dog in the fight that people who are concerned with privacy really had to get on board the privacy chain. So that's why they're doing it. And that's actually why they'll find a way around it too.
Thanks, Jacob. So what does this mean for advertising?
Well, that is a big old question. Okay, let me start by saying that cookies aren't magical, right? They're a 25-year-old technology. They weren't that great. Cross-platform tracking, terrible. The cross-device tracking is what I meant to say there, but cross-platform also not great. But anyway, if you were skipping from one device to another, your conversion tracking was getting lost like 60% of the time. Someone did a study that something like, I think this was in 2018, 64% of the cookies weren't tracked, right? So let's not pretend like this wasn't a messy, yucky business that gave people irrelevant ads anyway. All right, so that said, how will it change advertising? Here's my take. For the most part, we're going to be able to serve people ads who would be interested in those ads still, right? So we're still able to, I'm going to go back to the baking or the cooking thing. We'll still be able to target people who are interested in barbecue recipes with our barbecue sauce as advertisers, right? We have to serve them relevant ads when they're reading relevant content instead of just following them around when they're trying to, I don't know, check their child's lunch schedule at school, right? It doesn't follow them everywhere, is what I'm saying. It means that also Google and Facebook are not going to let this giant billions of dollars industry just sort of swim on by now. They're not going to be like, oh, darn, no more cookies. I guess we won't find a way to target people. They absolutely are going to find a way around this. Google is already working on ways around this. Essentially, it's saying, okay, well, I'm not going to allow you to track user behavior. You can't follow somebody around the web like that, but you can follow aggregate interest groups around the internet like that. So there's always going to be a way around this, just reallocation of budgets, really, from one sort of targeting to another.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Like to add that I'm glad I turned on the lamp next to me. But other than that, I would say we really actually don't expect to see a decline in ad budgets or a decline in ad traffic because of any of this, really. As I mentioned before, it really is just going to be about a reallocation. Instead of serving, beer ads to somebody when they're shopping for shoes, you're serving them beer ads when they're at a bar. This kind of goes back to a point that I make all the time, and I made it when Facebook's, started freaking out about the iOS 14 thing. We've had a couple of years now where we've had a lot of technology at our fingertips that has kind of made us, the marketing world, not us as in us, of course, but kind of lazy about the actual marketing side, right? 2014 to 2018, you could kind of just like print money on Facebook. You're like, okay, go target, everybody who is luxury and interested in travel and also this race and this gender and this age. I mean, really bad stuff. And it totally worked. Now that we're being taken away from some of that, we just have to get good at marketing again, all of us, right? We have to develop, I had to figure out, what the core of our products are, why people would want to buy from us, where those people hang out, and target ads to them there. This is not, revelatory, except in the fact that it means we just have to get smarter and go back to basics and serve people what they're looking for in the places that they need it, and give them products and services that they'd be really interested in because they're great products and services, right? So it sounds super basic and annoying and like, oh, what about the tracking? We'll be able to tell if something's getting you revenue or not. And we can definitely find people in better places where they're more receptive to our advertising and more in a place to hear what we have to say as marketers and advertisers than constantly annoying them with out of context stuff that they don't care about. We'll be fine.
Well, thank you for tuning in today. We hope that was helpful. And if you like this video, go ahead and like and subscribe our channel.